Himani.
Himani. Okay, good. Okay, so see, Arushi, the line you told, I haven't read. Is it a poem? Is it some line from his work?
Ma'am, it is a line from his work, I guess.
Work is written. Anything else is written? Just
It is
portion.
written, welches der folgenden Literationen Stimmelten ist in diesem Satz zu erkennen. And they have given us the four options, that is alliteration, antithesis, parallelismus, and affair.
Okay, fine.
And
Alliteration, now you have to find out. I will explain you these four things. Okay. For others who have joined late, Arushi is just discussing a question from previous questionnaire. Previous questionnaire paper. Okay. Alliteration is actually in English also alliteration. We will come to it.
yeah,
Anaphor is repetition. When you find there is a repetition, it's anaphor. Okay. Um, Now I am getting examples in Hindi language. We have so many songs where एक ही लेटर से रिपीट होता रहता है कितना है ना ओके देन antithesis is opposite like gross und klein. Now check, is antithesis there opposite है gross klein natur und so weiter हाँ
yeah, ma'am. The answer is this only, antithesis.
हाँ and what are the
But
opposite how you find कि these are antithesis opposite क्या है वो दो words like gross klein schwach stark what are those two words
neuen Tod and alter Leben.
ja neuen Tod und alter Leben ja neuen alten Tod Leben yeah das ist antithesis
Yeah.
so basically it's for everyone see you are from different backgrounds like Rishabh he's from a university background you are from a college background in college much things are not done and actually in advanced diploma only focus is done on language right they do not teach you translation they do am I right they do not teach you literature is it so
Ma'am, they teach us literature, but not in detail. Like we have just 13 texts
okay
of different authors, and we just read those texts. We just solve their questions, and
hmm
yeah, that much. And translation is there
yeah translation is there yeah because they
from
focus on the
certificate
language part yeah
from the certificate course. We are doing translation.
okay good so see these are actually done who is pursuing literature who is a literature student ये सब उनको पता होता है okay everybody is fine if I talk in Hindi also all know Hindi हाँ
Yes,
Rishabh
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay
हाँ मैम कोई बात नहीं
okay
Yes, ma'am.
okay now alliteration is in English also alliteration anaphor repetition antithesis opposite बस ये words याद कर लो antithesis नाम ही है anti opposite assonance resonance yeah sound same sound ellipse abbreviated sentences like words have meaning ellipse हो गया कि पूरे पूरे sentence नहीं लिखे हैं but words have meaning they are abbreviated sentences Übertreibung, deliberate exaggeration. Yeah, exaggeration. Um, Hyperbole in English, it's a figure of speech hyperbole. Huh? Then irony is irony. Oxymoron, like you have done Paul Celan Todesfuge. Todesfuge, in that he has written black milk, Schwarzer Milch. He's actually focusing on the smoke coming out from chimney in Auschwitz concentration camp. Yeah, but he is, you know, metaphor, simile, and he has compared that smoke with Todesfuge and Schwarz Milch. So Schwarz, black, Milch, white. Milk is actually white color. So black, white, Schwarz milk. How can this be possible? So these are oxymoron. Okay. So take time, write in your notes these terms, and just write. Remember the word. Anaphor, repetition. Antithesis, opposite. Assonance, same sound. Hmm? Übertreibung, exaggeration. Irony, irony. Oxymoron, again opposite. Okay? So see, these things you have to remember. One has to do and one has to, work really very hard. You have to make your own notes. Okay? So old notes. If I have distributed among many juniors. Okay? So anything else, Arushi, from your previous years?
And ma'am, some of the epoches.
Some of the
Epoche.
that we will do. Epocha,
Yeah, ma'am. That's
politician
much.
and Kulturgeschichte, ये तीनों को लिंक करके we will do. प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स का तो कोई भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है ना?
No, ma'am.
हाँ, okay, fine. So I think, yeah, quite people have already joined. Pratibha, Smriti, Priyatosh, all okay. So you just listen to me, okay? I will provide you notes. Do not copy, don't do anything, don't write, just listen to me, okay? So when we talk about German literature, now you already know Germany is a land of Dichter, Denker, philosopher, yeah, innovators, inventors, scientists. Germany is best. Germany is doing best sports, actors, everywhere, even politicians. Okay, so Germany is doing best, and it's the most developed country, and it's very environmental friendly. Okay, so these things you have to consider. All right. Now, if we talk about German literature, what actually belongs to German literature? German literature means anything, a work, yeah, a literarisches Werk, a work written in German language, either by German speaker or by German native, or from a person from any German speaking countries, that is Austria, Germany, Switzerland, or from German diaspora. When I say diaspora, diaspora can be person living in China, he's German, yeah, you understand these things. Now, एक आप पता है क्रोनोलॉजिकली आप लिखते चलो. डोंट टाइप, डोंट टेक प्रिंट आउट्स. इफ यू विल राइट, योर माइंड विल रिमेंबर. ओके, आप अपने नोट्स बनाओ. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू डायरेक्शन. ओके, नाउ लिसन टू मी. डोंट कॉपी, डोंट डू एनीथिंग. आप जर्मन लिटरेचर, नाउ फर्स्ट वर्क इन जर्मन लिटरेचर वॉज, व्हाट वाज इट? एनी आइडिया? फर्स्ट वर्क कि हाँ ये लिटरेचर था जर्मन लिटरेचर में पहला. व्हेन आई से लिटरेचर, इट मीन्स इट्स एन आर्ट. तो क्या था, कोई भी बताएगा? Okay, so should I speak? Yeah, it was Hildebrand's Lied. Hildebrand's Lied. एंड हेरोइक एपिक, हाईलैंड हेरोइक एपिक. ठीक है, अब बहुत ज़रूरी है पहले तो एपोखा. आपके एपोखा है, सबको प्रॉब्लम है कि एपोखा में कौन से ऑथर्स करें, क्या करें. ठीक है, आप एक क्रोनोलॉजिकली पेन पेपर लो अपने पास, लिखते चलो. हिल्डर ब्रांड्स लीड. अब हिल्डे ब्रांड्स लीड, हिल्डर, हिल्डर हीरो, लीड सॉन्ग. सो पहले क्या होता था? पहले नॉवेल्स नहीं थे, पहले शॉर्ट स्टोरीज नहीं थी, पहले सोनेट नहीं थे. क्या थे? लीड्स, सॉन्ग्स थे. ओके, इट वाज अराउंड 1400 और 1500. नाउ जर्मनी में ये हो रहा है, बाकी इटली में क्या हो रहा है? यहाँ पे रेनेसा. गॉट इट? सो पूरा आपको यूरोपियन कल्चर आपको लिंक करके दिमाग में रख के चलना पड़ेगा. ओके, नाउ दे आर ग्लोरीफाइंग देयर हीरोज. Maybe he's a regional hero, he's a national hero, nobody knows. Hildebrand's Lied, you have to read. Okay, and these are heroic epics. All right, now so ये कनेक्शन बहुत ज़रूरी है कि पूरे यूरोप में क्या चल रहा है, क्योंकि हम जर्मनी को अलग नहीं कर सकते यूरोप से, पुरान मतलब पास्ट में भी और मॉडर्न डे में भी. ओके, नाउ then came middle high German. Middle high German starts in 12th century. Now you have to look back and see who all are the people who are writing. They are educated, maybe they are priest from church, or they are from noble class. Noble class, aristocrat, means they are state sponsored. State sponsored, सरकार उनको पैसा दे रही है कि लिखो आप. ठीक है, राजा उनको पैसा दे रहा है कि आप लिखो. कोई अपने आप से, कोई फार्मर के पास टाइम नहीं है कि वो लिख रहा है बैठ के. ओके, सो ये ऑथर्स, आर्टिस्ट, पेंटर्स, मे बी लियोनार्डो डा विंची, एनीवन. ओके, दे ऑल वर स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड. जब तक चर्च था, चर्च ने अब चर्च ने अपने फेवर में लिखवाई चीजें. फिर जब राजा आ गए तो राजा ने अपने फेवर में लिखवाई चीजें. बट स्टिल पीपल आर सफरिंग, स्टिल वॉर्स आर गोइंग ऑन. ओके, सो नाउ यू हैव टू लिंक लिटरेचर एंड kulturelle Geschichte zusammen. Okay, together. Now, so this is the background. So like this, with this connection, we will see what all happened, what all changes occurred in this entire hour. Okay, now Middle High German. Middle High German works include The Ring, Oswald von Wolkenstein, Johannes von Teppel, Then there came Baroque period. Baroque period सिर्फ जर्मनी में नहीं था, Baroque period पूरे यूरोप में था. So you have to look. इटली में क्या हो रहा है? रेनेसा हो गया, रेनेसा रीबर्थ. उससे पहले क्या हुआ? प्लेग, फेमाइन. Then you have to. Then came Baroque. Then came Rococo. Okay. Then came this Enlightenment period. In German literature we are talking. Okay. Now in Enlightenment period, who was the famous person? Kant. Enlightenment, Kant. आंखें बंद करके, Immanuel Kant. Okay. Now Immanuel Kant gave one definition of enlightenment. Yeah, you might already know this. I'm not going these in a detailed, okay, because I have to touch many things. Then in this enlightenment period, एक 30 साल का पीरियड था. वो क्या था? Sturm und Drang. Storm and stress. Sturm und Drang. एंड इस Sturm und Drang में के बाद आया एक वाइमार क्लासिज्म. A Weimar classicism, like Enlightenment, is related to Kant directly. Weimar classicism is related to Goethe and Schiller. And why Weimar? Because Goethe almost not every but majority of his work he finished in Weimar. Weimar is a city in east of the Germany. All right. Schiller, they were friends. They were contemporary. Okay. Now यहाँ तक इतने ज्यादा ऑथर्स नहीं हैं. वीलांड हो गया, ग्योथे, शिलर, बस. और फिर एक पैरेलली एक फील्ड चल रही है, वो है फिलोसोफर्स की. ये तो हमारे लिटरेचर हैं, ये आर्टिस्ट हैं, ये ऑथर्स हैं, बट एक पैरेलल फिलोसोफर्स भी इमर्ज हो रहे हैं. philosophers like in enlightenment, philosophers in Sturm und Drang, philosophers in Weimar classic. Okay, like teacher, Herder is said to be teacher of Goethe. Teacher, not teacher but a guru. Okay, today's Guru Purnima also. Guru, a guide. हाँ. सो ये आपको ध्यान एक पैरेलली आप लेके चलो. फिलोसोफर्स, ऑथर्स एंड एपोका बीच में हो गया. ओके, एपोका में कैटेगराइज कर लो. स्टुमुंद्रांग के बाद वाइमार क्लासिक, एनलाइटनमेंट. ओके, देन कम्स रोमांटिसिज्म. Romanticism was the most dominant movement of late 18th and early 19th centuries. Okay, why and how? These we will do. Now, पैरेलली इटली में क्या हो रहा है? ओके, इटली में भी रिफॉर्मेशंस हो रहे हैं, रेनेसा का टाइम चला गया, पेंटर्स आर पेंटिंग. या इटली वाज वेरी जॉयस कंट्री, बस वो पेंटिंग चल रही है, वहां पे सब ठीक था. जो मेन वॉर्स थे वो फ्रांस, जर्मनी, यहाँ पे हो रहे थे. फ्रांस में क्या हो रहा है? स्पीच इमर्जिंग ऑफ नेपोलियन. देन वहाँ पे किंग को गेलोतीन पे चढ़ाया गया. या ये सब आपको पैरेलली लेके चलना है, बिकॉज नाउ इन MA teachers will assume that you know these things. ठीक है. So this is my suggestion, and I gave this to some people who would talk to me personally. You once check the syllabus of BA on website. Okay, what all they do in BA in these 3 entire years. So that much knowledge you should have. Okay. Now let's see the periodization of German literature, how they are categorized. Now, periodizing or categorizing is no any science or anything कि okay 1900 से 1910 full stop ये एक्सप्रेशनिज्म. नो, वो 1915 भी खींच सकता है, वो 1920 भी खींच सकता है, बट वहाँ पे डोमिनेशन की किस टाइप का वर्क हो रहा है, डोमिनेंस मेजॉरिटी में, तो वो नाम दिया जाता है एपोका में. ओके, क्योंकि बहुत कंफ्यूजन है स्टूडेंट्स को कि नाजी, नॉट दी नाजी, लाइक एक्सप्रेशनिज्म, लाइक वाइमार रिपब्लिक, कि ये तो एक साल बाद, एक साल पहले है, 1918 है, 1919 है, इतना ऊपर नीचे चलता है. ठीक है, कुछ क्योंकि कहीं पे वो नहीं है कि साइंटिफिकली कैटेगराइजेशन नहीं है. ओके, नाउ लेट्स medieval German is not so important. Basically modern German means after romanticism, romantic movement के बाद बहुत important है हर चीज जर्मन लिटरेचर में, because it influences the today's literature also. Okay, so romantic is very important. Now let's talk about medieval German literature. So medieval is categorized into old high German literature, when mythical creatures, the songs were written, and these songs were not actually written but they were spoken. Yeah, it was oral tradition going on. Then come middle high German literature, old high German literature, middle high German literature, then late medieval or Renaissance. Okay, so till Renaissance not so important, even we do not have records कि किसने क्या लिखा, we do not have anything in record. Now comes early modern German literature, which is actually little bit of knowledge of information. अर्ली मॉडर्न लिटरेचर व्हाट इंक्लूड्स ह्यूमैनिज्म. ह्यूमैनिज्म, अब ह्यूमैनिज्म क्यों कहा गया है? ह्यूमैनिज्म से पहले आपको जाना पड़ेगा. ओके, ह्यूमैनिज्म से पहले था गॉड की सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ है, गॉड सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ है, चर्च नाउ ये हमारे इंडिया का की बात नहीं है, ये सिर्फ यूरोप और यूएसए, यूएसए भी नहीं, यूरोप में, ठीक है. तो सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ है पोप. वाई? देन केम ह्यूमैनिस्ट कि नो, ह्यूमंस आर द सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ. देन ह्यूमैनिज्म मूवमेंट चला. अब ये फार्मर्स, पीजेंट, सोल्जर, उनको नहीं पता ये क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा, उन्हें उनकी ब्रेड मिल जाए वही काफी है, ठीक है. ये मूवमेंट्स कहाँ चलते हैं? जो क्रीमी लेयर है, जो जिनके पास सब कुछ है, बस उन्हें लिखना है, दे हैव लॉट ऑफ फ्री टाइम, ओके. तो उस क्लास में हुआ कि नो, ह्यूमंस आर द सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ, so we are humanist, we will think of humans, we will write on humans, we will work to develop, to improve the situation of humans. Okay, so humans, log, insan. So humanism के साथ क्या चला? प्रोटेस्टेंट रिफॉर्मेशन. ओके, ह्यूमैनिज्म इटली, फ्रांस, देन जर्मनी के सदर्न पार्ट. नॉर्थ में क्या हो रहा है? प्रोटेस्टेंट reformation, where Luther came up and said that I have translated Bible for the common person. Now common person has also access to the Bible. It's not that we have to access the God, or we have to read Bible through some pope, through some priest. No, he himself was a priest in Hamburg. Yeah, Hamburg, yes. Okay. North, so that is why in today's Germany, northern part of Germany is Protestant and southern part is Catholic, because southern part was uh, near to Vatican City, Rome, Italy. Okay, so ये सब देखो, अब geography, region, religion, ये सब बहुत influence करता है, ठीक है. Because in a way, because Europe history is one, okay, Europe cultural history is one. ओके, देन केम बारोक. बारोक के बाद आया रोकोको. रोकोको की कोई बात नहीं करता है, क्योंकि इट्स एक तरह से ये फेड हो गया मूवमेंट, ठीक है. ज्यादा चला नहीं, ज्यादा मेजोरिटी ऑफ वर्क नहीं है, इसलिए फेड हो गया. बारोक इज इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ यू विल गो एंड सी द चर्च, द ओल्ड चर्च, दे आर all of Baroque architecture style. Okay, so Baroque was mostly focused in architecture, art. Then came Enlightenment. Enlightenment is important for Immanuel Kant. Okay, what Immanuel Kant said, he published 3 works, so those you have to take care of. You have to note. I read Pure Critique, Pure Reason. Yeah, these were his works. Then came modern German literature. Now, अब ये ध्यान से सुनो ये बातें. Modern German literature, 18th and 19th century. When I say 18th century, it means 1701 से 1799 तक. हाँ, Got it? When I say 19th century, it means 1801 से 1800 तक. Okay? एक हम सेंचुरी एक बाद की बोलते हैं. यहाँ पे Empfindsamkeit, Sensibilität. Empfindsamkeit, feelings. When authors, artists, and philosophers, not the philosophers, we are not including philosophers in this class. We are only focusing on literature. They started to write, they started to paint, they started to create art, keeping feelings, empfindsam, yeah, empfinden, feelings, in emotions in focus, like maybe a face, happy face, or, yeah. I think Mona Lisa was also painted during this. No, Mona Lisa was painted way back. No. Okay, so this is how what we say theme. बाय एपोका वी मीन कि थीम चेंज हो जाता है उस टाइम पीरियड का, उस साइटगाइस्ट का. You know the word zeitgeist. Okay, then came Shumun Ra, Storm and Stress, where passion इतना जरूरी है. I think the writers होंगे that इसी टाइम पे लिखा गया था. Yeah, he was so passionate to find his love, and it's a true, I think it's an autobiography of Goethe. Okay, and he couldn't find his love. Yeah, something's happened in the end. Then comes German classicism. Classicism is a golden period, like Shakespeare in England, Cervantes in Spain, French, I don't know, French, yeah, I don't know. German, Goethe, okay? Goethe is important. Goethe's contemporary are Schiller. Goethe's contemporaries are so many, but Goethe is important. Why? Because he was a state-sponsored author, and he was from aristocrat class. Yeah, von. When we add von to a name, it is a noble class. Okay, after king, after duke, noble people come. So, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. He wrote many books, Faust, Faust 1, Faust 2. Then he wrote many brief. Yeah, he wrote different works. Then he wrote on India also. He wrote on Arab world also, Divan. Yeah. So these things you have to see. Now you do one thing. What I suggest, make notes. Yeah, आप एक लाइन खींचो, उसमें कैटेगराइजेशन करो, ठीक है, कि ये टाइम पीरियड, ये इतना टाइम पीरियड, इतना। एक तरफ आप फिलोसोफर्स लिखो, फिलोसोफर्स की ज्यादा लिस्ट पे ध्यान मत देना, बट ऑथर्स जिन्होंने लिटरेचर करा है वो लिखो, ठीक है। अब ग्योथे आपने लिख दिया, देन ग्योथे के नेक्स्ट पेज पे ग्योथे, देन उसके बारे में उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या था, ठीक है, बिकॉज बैकग्राउंड ऑल्सो इन्फ्लुएंसेस व्हाट वी राइट। इफ आई एम फ्रॉम अ पुअर बैकग्राउंड, आई विल राइट द रियलिटी, I will write for poor. But if I am rich and I just have a lot of time and I have this creativity to write, then I can write maybe ideal things, maybe utopia, which even do not exist in this world. Okay, so फिर आप ग्योथे के बारे में पढ़ो, ग्योथे ने क्या वर्क लिखे, ये सब करो, ठीक है। मेक नोट्स, यू हैव टू राइट, डोंट थिंक कि कोई बस स्पून फीडिंग कर देगा, नो। ओके, then comes Weimar classism. In German classism, this Weimar classism is included, and this Weimar classism depends on Schiller's and Goethe's work. Okay, Goethe died, Schiller also died. Yeah. Then comes German Romanticism. Very important. Romanticism, romantic. Now, not romanticism like romance in English language, but romantic that again emphasize on feelings, emphasize on emotions. Everything is so beautiful. Nothing is bad. Nothing is ugly. Yeah, nature. Nature is the theme of this period. Everyone is writing on nature, not nature exact like trees, no, but the this ideal situation. Okay, idealism, romanticism. Then there are few characteristics of romanticism. Romanticism basically occurred along Rhine. You know, Rhine flows from south to north, yeah, in west of the Germany. Wiesbaden, Frankfurt am Main, yeah. Then, if you have heard of Heinrich Heine's Lorelei lebt, Lorelei. Lorelei again is a legend that there is a Lorelei, she's mermaid and she enchants the sailors, she with her beauty, yeah. And there is Lorelei Felsen, Felsen rock. Okay, please look at the pictures on Google. These things will help you to imagine and to think in their, to be in their shoes. Okay, then comes German Romanticism. There are particular characteristics. Romantic. Heine is one of the famous one. Then comes Biedermeier. Okay, Biedermeier is not so famous. It's also not so important. Then there is Young Germany. Yeah, the Young Germany where youngsters start to write new thinking with a new thinking. Okay, then comes realism. After idealism, utopia, everything is so beautiful. Then comes realism. Realism tells you the reality, as the name suggests. Okay, what is the reality? They are talking about peasants. They are talking about farmer. They are talking about women. They are talking about how women are suffering, maybe a domestic violence, a social violence, anything. Emilia Galotti, yeah, and Lessing's other works also. Miss Sarah Simpson. See, Miss Sarah Simpson. For the first time, the entire drama is given a name of a female. Miss Sarah Simpson, Emilia Galotti. Okay, so these things you have to understand, and if you will understand through this strategy, you will remember for your lifetime. Believe me. Okay, then in realism there are particular what we say characteristics again, yeah. If you see the paintings of realism, they are on farmers. Farmers are plowing fields, farmers are plowing, not plowing but picking up potatoes. Okay, then comes naturalism. Naturalism now focus on nature. Okay, paintings of nature, songs on nature, poems on nature. Again, just take 2 3 authors from every epocha, the major ones. Okay, like Lessing is very important in realism, Heinrich Heine is important in romanticism. Okay, and then Schiller and Goethe from Weimar classicism. Okay, in case you think that 2 3 other authors should be included, please do that. Okay, then naturalism is there. Naturalism doesn't belong for so many time, only for 20 years. Then comes 20th century German literature. Now 20th century German literature, it's 20th century, yeah, 1900 to 1933. If we just see this time period, so what's the history? Now see, Landeskunde is included. Now Germany is a unified Bismarck, unified Germany. It is उससे पहले क्या हुआ? Napoleon died, yeah. So France is a different nation, Germany is a different nation. Germany में Bismarck था, Germany में, but there is a Raja, but still there is a democratic government. Okay. So fin de siècle is called, I don't know, maybe it's French or Spanish word. It's the end of a century. Yeah, this is the English meaning, end of a century. 1900. Okay. Then comes symbolism. Symbolism where objects are in focus. Okay. How? If you have read or heard of Rainer Maria Rilke, he wrote Der Panther. Yeah, very famous. Now, why he wrote Der Panther? How he came to the idea of writing on panther? Yeah, he actually saw this panther in French zoo in France, in Paris. Los de Gordons, I really don't know. Kratika would help me to pronounce this name. Okay, you just check this background information. And that panther, who is the wildest of wild animals, yeah, we can compare panther with cheetah. Panther, I don't think so. They are found in India. He is, afraid. He's trembling there. He's in a cage. So he wrote on that. Ding gedisht. Ding, cheese, saman, object, gedisht, poem. तो अब जो नेचर के बारे में लिखा जा रहा था, हर चीज ब्यूटीफुल है, हर चीज इतनी आइडियल है, नहीं, वो सब खत्म। फिर रियलिटी के ऊपर लिखा गया, फिर दोबारा नेचर के ऊपर लिखा गया, उसके बाद सिंबल। नाउ एक तरह से नैरो डाउन हो रहा है हमारा थीम लिटरेचर का। ओके, maybe on one person, maybe on one object, maybe on an animal. Now see, animals are the focus of literature. Okay, art. Fine. So now now there is no particular categorization कि अच्छा ये symbolism है, symbolism 5 साल चला खत्म, नहीं, symbolism अभी भी मिल सकता है आपको कहीं, okay, but that majority of work produced was under symbolism. Then expressionism में elegy again, Rilke is very famous in symbolism and expressionism. So read about Rilke, check his works. Okay, even if you get time, read his works also. Okay, then comes Dadaismus, New Objectivity. New Objectivity is also called Neue Sachlichkeit. Okay, so these are not so important because I said there was influence. French में भी parallelly movements हो रहे थे, Italy में भी हो रहे हैं, तो there was kind of influence. Okay, but in Germany major was, I told you. So till 1933, not so many not so much attention on literature, not so much attention on art, because during Weimar Republic जर्मनी की सिचुएशन बहुत खराब थी. देयर वाज अ लो डिप्रेशन से, व्हाट वी से, इन्फ्लेशन एंड लो डिप्रेशन, ग्रेट डिप्रेशन. ओके, ग्रेट डिप्रेशन, व्हाट डज दिस मीन? If you want to buy one loaf of bread, egg bread, even not the packet of bread, one loaf of bread, I had to give money full of bucket. इतनी ज्यादा इकोनॉमी डाउन हो गई थी. सब आर्बाइट, मतलब I'm just getting the German words. Es gab Arbeitslosigkeit, ja, es gab so viele Krimi. So there was a crime, and crime was focused on babies, not the babies, but the toddlers, children, and women. Yeah, children were raped, young girls were raped, and they were just thrown on the streets. So such the situation of Germany was not so good. So not much attention, like romanticism, idealism, not much attention is given on literature, on art during that period, because Germany was suffering from many fluctuations, many ups and downs. Okay, then came the period of National Socialism, that is Nazi rule, 1933-1945. यहाँ पे अगर हिटलर के बारे में अच्छा लिखा गया है, नाजी रूल के बारे में अच्छा लिखा गया है, तो ठीक है, पब्लिश होगा. अगर नहीं लिखा गया है, जो कि नहीं लिखा जाता था, एक ट्रू ऑथर कभी नहीं लिख सकता हिटलर के बारे में. Okay, until and unless it's a propaganda. All right. तो वो या तो एग्जाइल में चले गए, एग्जाइल में भी वो लिख रहे हैं, दे आर इन यूएसए, सो मेनी लाइक थॉमस मान, हाँ, थॉमस मान रोट उंटरटान डाउनफॉल, सो इट्स वेरी फेमस वर्क, उंटरटान के लिए ही थॉमस मान को नोबेल प्राइज मिला था। ओके, सो अब आपको ये देखना है कि क्यों नहीं इतने फेमस वर्क्स हैं 1945 तक, बिकॉज ड्यू टू हिटलर एंड नाजी regime. Now, yeah, people went to exile. Albert Einstein also went to exile. He went to USA. Okay, they were still writing from exile, and that literature is called exil literature. All right. Then comes, yeah, till 1945. Now the war is going on. You know the history. Then comes Stunde Null. Stunde Null, zero hour, where everything in Germany is zero. No literature, no art, no politics, no social system, no economy, no bread, no butter, nothing. Okay. Who all are left? Women, old people, and children. That's it. Yeah, no young boys who can actually do works, no young men. They were either soldiers who died in war or they were taken as a prisoner of war by USSR or USA. Okay, basically, more through USSR, they were in prison. Okay, now then USSR released later, maybe after 6 to 7 years, they released them. All right, so till now you have to understand National Socialist literature. Don't pay attention to this. It's not so important. Exile literature. You can read the most famous ones. That's it. Only author and their work. That's it. Okay. Then comes 45 till 89. Okay, यहाँ पे लांडिस कुंडा वेस्ट जर्मनी में बहुत कुछ हो रहा है इस बीच, ईस्ट जर्मनी में कुछ नहीं हो रहा। ईस्ट जर्मनी में भी अगेन वही रूल है, यूएसएसआर है, वॉल्टर उल्ब्रिस्ट है, हाइनरिश हॉनेकर है। अगर स्टेट के बारे में लिखा जाएगा, अच्छा लिखा जाएगा तो ठीक है, नहीं लिखा जाएगा तो या तो हमें दबा दिया जाएगा, वी विल बी सप्रेस्ड और वी विल बी नथिंग, आवर वर्क वोंट बी पब्लिश्ड। सो ईस्ट जर्मनी के इतने फेमस ऑथर्स नहीं है। ईस्ट जर्मनी के ऑथर्स फेमस हुए रीयूनिफिकेशन के बाद, like Christoph Wolff. There are so many. Even Angela Merkel was from East Germany, is from East Germany. Okay. So let's focus on West Germany. What was happening after 1945? Then two separate Germanys came. Then there were so many things. Guest workers came up. Now guest workers came up, तो migranten literature start हुआ. Migrants who started to write either on migrants or on Germany or on different cultures. Okay, see Alemania, see this movie Alemania. It's the most comic one, and you will understand the situation of Turkish people who are living in Germany. Okay, then comes APO, Außerparlamentarische Opposition. Then comes Studentenbewegung, स्टूडेंट्स मूवमेंट हुआ। ये सब वेस्ट जर्मनी में भी इतना स्मूथ नहीं चल रहा था, अप्स एंड डाउन बहुत थे, बट इट वाज मूवमेंट्स वर गोइंग ऑन, प्रोटेस्ट वर गोइंग ऑन व्हेन देयर वाज समथिंग बैड, देन गवर्नमेंट यूज्ड टू टेक एक्शन। या सो means what we can say that people had democracy to express them, authors had democracy to express them, artists had democracy to express them. Okay, इफ यू लुक एट द बर्लिन वॉल, अगर आप जर्मनी जाओ तो हर सिटी में एक बर्लिन वॉल का स्लैब है, वॉल है छोटी छोटी, तो एक तरफ ना बहुत पेंटिंग्स हैं वॉल पे और दूसरी तरफ बिल्कुल पेंटिंग्स नहीं है, ग्राफिटी। तो जहाँ पे ग्राफिटी है ना वो वॉल वेस्ट साइड में थी, तो वेस्टर्न लोग बहुत ग्राफिटी करते थे कि लेट द वॉल कम डाउन और एनीथिंग, एंड ईस्ट साइड में दे वर नॉट अलाउड टू कम नियर द वॉल ऑल्सो, दे वर सोल्जर्स। सो आप देखोगे ना जब एक तरफ बहुत ग्राफिटी और दूसरी तरफ देखो बिल्कुल ग्राफिटी नहीं है, इट्स ऑल प्लेन। सो सी दिस इज ऑल्सो टेल्स द rule and the political situation of both the Germanys. Okay, I skipped the topic and let's come back to literature. Literature में आप Federal Republic of Germany, German Democratic Republic, Austria, Switzerland. Okay, so from 1945 till 1989, these 4 countries will be covered: FRG, DDR, Austria, Switzerland, and others be like diaspora. If I'm in USA, I'm a German, I'm writing on Germany, I'm writing in German language. Okay, those things might be considered. Thomas Mann, Hermann Hesse, no, not Hermann Hesse, is much before. Hermann Hesse is from Romantic period. Thomas Mann's brother, Heinrich Mann, I think. Yeah, they were 3 brothers: Klaus Mann, Heinrich Mann, Thomas Mann. Okay, so they both the 3 were Nobel Prize winner. Both the 3 were best authors. सो उनके बारे में पढ़ना है, ग्युंटर ग्रास के बारे में करना है। ग्युंटर ग्रास ने इंडिया पे लिखा है सुंग साइगन, काली माँ के ऊपर, सुंगा टंग साइगर, लाइक काली माँ इज पोर्ट्रेट विद हर टंग, या टंग out. Okay, so these things you have to consider. Now again, the major ones, by major, if I say, maybe they are Nobel Prize winners, maybe they have contributed something in German literature, those who have written on India. Okay, Hermann Hesse has also written on India, Siddhartha. Okay, then what else? Yeah, if we, like post-war literature, yeah, Nachkriegs literature is important. Why it is called Nachkrieg? Because it's after war. Now here, what happened? These short stories emerged. I told you this before also, because people didn't have time to read the novels, or they didn't have time to write novels. All right, they were busy improving their situation, building themselves up, building the society, everything. Okay, so then there came the Wolfgang Borchert's short stories, Die Küchenuhr, Das Brot. Okay, you should, if possible, read them. They are only 1.5 pages. Then comes Haifischer Mention, yeah, something. Then there is Peter Handke's on economy, on Wirtschaftswunder. Mm, what's the name? I'm forgetting the names. Yeah, this happens. Okay, then there was group 60, group 47, group 63. What were these groups? Who all were there in groups? Group 47, it was a group of authors, poets, built in 1947. Paul Celan, who has written Todesfuga, dance of a death or song of a death, it means this. Okay, he was a Jew, and he actually written his own experience. Yeah, he told that how Jews were forced to celebrate, to dance, to play their traditional instrument. They have one traditional gaiga, I think, gaiga, yeah, by German soldiers when they were burning their relatives, when they were burning other Jews. Okay, so he has narrated all that. Todesfuga, Schwarzer Milch, black milk, oxymoron. Okay, so if you will read, then you will get to know the literarische Mittel also, figure of speeches. And figure of speeches are very different in German literature than in English literature. In English literature, we have very few, but in German, we have lot. Okay, so Holocaust literature, every literature written on Holocaust. It was not that people in Holocaust, they are in Holocaust and they are writing literature. No, after that, written on Holocaust. Yeah, I think now in 2014 to 2015, the last Holocaust survivor died. Okay, she was a young girl, 13 years of age, in Holocaust in Auschwitz. She died. Now old women, like 102, 103 years of age. Okay, so reports given by them, what happened, then based on that a literature is made. That is Holocaust literature. Holocaust literature, not many authors are known, but yeah, you can find them on internet. Compare at least 4 or 5 websites. What are the major ones? What are the common ones? Just learn those. Then, if we talk about contemporary German literature from 1989, or let's say after reunification from 1990 till now, there are so many now. German, everyone in Germany is author now. Okay, they are writing, they are publishing, they are writing novels, 800 pages novel, 1,000 pages novel. Okay, so that all comes under contemporary German literature. And let's talk about Wendepunkt. This Wendepunkt, 1989. This is a turning point in German history and in German literature, where West had influence on Eastern democracy, Eastern political and social system. Yeah. So when East and West were united, there was an influence of Western system. It's not that Eastern system came up in Germany, but democracy and capitalism came up. All right. So this Wendepunkt, again, Wendepunkt is on the tortures, the violences in East Germany, the protest on West Germany. Like we had student movement in Western Germany in 1968 or 69. Okay, so Rudi Dutschke, he was killed by police. He was the one who led the movement. Okay, so now again, then many authors wrote on him, about him, on the movement, on why this student movement came up. Student movement came up because, in universities still the Nazi rule was going on. There were no female professors. Keine Professorin, nur Professor. Yeah, professors will come, they will give lectures one to one, and they will speak. The students did not have this democracy to, question them back, to ask their doubts. So this was a student movement, and yeah, fee system also. So what education in Germany we have today, it's all the result of student movement. What kind of political system is today, it's all the result of außerparlamentarische Opposition, APO. Okay, what all, why Germany is so, open hearted and open armed, it's all the result of its history, the black, it's a, yeah, black part of history. Okay, सो ओल्ड हाई जर्मन, मिडिल हाई जर्मन इतना ज़रूरी नहीं है. जर्मन रेनेसा रिफॉर्मेशन में भी इतना ज़रूरी नहीं है, बिकॉज सेबास्टियन ब्रांट, थॉमस मर्नर, फिलिप मेलनथॉन, सेबास्टियन फ्रैंक, अगेन दे आर नॉट सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. बारोक पीरियड अगेन नॉट सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. या 30 ईयर्स वॉर, बारोक पीरियड में आता है 30 ईयर्स वॉर. Andreas Gryphius, he wrote one poem, yeah, that is important. Okay, so if now you can write, you just write it. बारोक पीरियड के नीचे लिखो 30 ईयर्स वॉर. 30 ईयर्स वॉर कब हुए थे? 1640 से 16 ऐसे कुछ हुआ था. ठीक है, 20 से 30 आई थिंक. And then write Andreas Gryphius. You can find these on internet as well. Then comes Enlightenment. Enlightenment, Herder, very important. Immanuel Kant. Now see Lessing. Lessing wrote on something in Enlightenment also, but he is famous in realism. Okay, yeah, not many, not so many. There are so many. Then comes Empfindsamkeit, Sensibilität. Klopstock wrote this famous poem where they are going in a boat and he is actually describing. And if you will read that poem, you will think that you are in that time period. You are with Gottlieb. Okay, so this is how the beauty, and that is why they are canons. They are the major authors of Germany. Then in sensibility only, Goethe's Die Leiden des jungen Werthers was the best publishing bestseller in Germany. Then comes Sturm und Drang. After Sturm und, then in Sturm und Drang also there were movements related to aesthetics. Okay, aesthetics, beauty. Everything should be perfect. Ordinum, beauty. Okay. Yeah, and one thing I want to tell you, during Romanticism, this nationalist feeling woke up among Germans. We are Germans, we are nationalists. Yeah, so this also has reference, this also has influence on Nazi rule. Okay, so see 50 years पहले कुछ movement हुआ था literature में, जहाँ पे ये feeling हुई थी कि हाँ हम German हैं, हमारी language German है, हम एक हैं. वही वो theoretical concept Nazi rule में भी था. Okay, or Hitler adopted. Let's say Hitler adopted. Yeah, German classism is also known as Weimar classism. Goethe, Schiller, या Schiller का पूरा नाम Johann Christoph Friedrich von Schiller. Goethe का पूरा नाम Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. You should know, famous one, you should know the complete name. Then came German Romanticism. In German Romanticism, Hegel, Heine, Hoffmann, Hölderlin. Romanticism के आप सारे authors कर लो, बहुत important है. Kleist, Novalis, the most important one. Okay, Schlegel का भी भाई था. Friedrich Schlegel, August Wilhelm Schlegel, Schleiermacher is philosopher. Ludwig Tieck, Ludwig Uhland, Arthur Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer, he wrote on India and he was very much influenced by Indian philosophy. Okay, and he wrote something on imagination and craft. Vorstellungen und Kraft. Then Eichendorff. So Romanticism, आप रट लो हर author उनके works. It's very important. Then in Biedermeier and Formats, Biedermeier is the time when Napoleonic Wars ended, and Schubert was important. In Formats, let's say Lauber, Gutzkov, they were important, but not so important. Yeah, you can leave this Biedermeier and Formats time. Then comes realism and naturalism. Realism, poetic realism, is also known as Theodor Fontane, Freitag, Keller, Rabe, Adalbert Stifter, Theodor Storm. These are important. Theodor Storm, Stifter, Fontane, very important. Naturalism, Hauptmann, very important. Okay. Then comes Kafka. Then comes Kafka. Kafka ke novel, The Trial. Yeah, एंड कफकेस्क, काफका के नाम से एक एडजेक्टिव बना कफकेस, या इट वाज अ राइटिंग स्टाइल कॉइंड टू बी कफकेस. If you are writing like Kafka, then your work is Kafkaesque, Kafkaesque, yeah, you can just check. So Kafka's writing allowed to peek into his melancholic life. His life was so melancholic, so sad. His relationship with his father was not at all good. So one where he felt isolated from all human beings, and one of his inspirations for writing. So he isolated himself. He felt isolated. He couldn't identify himself with any other. So these things actually you can understand through Kafka's work. Okay, the Trial he wrote, and he wrote many other works also. Then came Nazi Germany. So National Socialist literature was all about Blut und Boden. Blut und Boden, blood and land. Blood, land, yeah, nationalist feeling. Then Nazi propaganda. Now, when I say nationalist feeling, not like Indian nationalism, we have patriotism, love towards our country plus love towards other countries also. But German nationalism is like love towards one country but hatred towards another country. Okay, then Innere Emigration, Exilliteratur, then post-war literature of West Germany, Heinrich Böll, Günter Grass, Group 47, Holocaust literature, Holocaust Paul Celan, important. Then GDR Bertolt Brecht, yeah, Günter Kunert, Heiner Müller, Christa Wolf, one of the finest female authors and Nobel Prize winner of Germany. Okay, then post-war literature of Switzerland, Austria, Ingeborg Bachmann, Bernhard, Friedrich Dürrenmatt, Max Frisch, Elfriede Jelinek, Peter Handke. These 5, 6 major ones, they are important. Then postmodern literature, Kraft, yeah, there are so many now. Now Wiener is there, Zetz is there are so many postmodern. Okay, so now in 21st century there are science fiction, pop literature, migrant literature में आएगा Kaminer, Zaimoglu, Rafik Shami, they are important ones. Then there is a literature pot, German American literature, and many thriller are there, crime novel, not crime novel, yeah, science fiction is there. Okay, so these Marcel Bayer is very famous novelist in Germany, contemporary. Okay, then you come to Nobel Prize laureates: Theodor Mommsen, Eucken, Heiser, Hauptmann, then Thomas Mann, Hermann Hesse, Nelly Sachs, Heinrich Böll, Elias Canetti, Günter Grass, Elfriede Jelinek, Herta Müller, Peter Handke. Peter Handke is Austrian, but he wrote in German language. Okay, so why they're important? What the things they wrote? So basically make notes, categorize them with epoch. आप पैरेलली चलो, एक तरफ जैसे शोपेनहाउअर, हेगल, ये फिलोसोफर्स हो गए, और एक पैरेलली चलो जहाँ लिटरेचर आपके नॉवेलिस्ट हो गए, ऑथर्स हो गए. ठीक है, और अगर आपको लगता है ब्रैकेट में कि व्हाट हैपेंड, व्हाट इंसिडेंट हैपेंड, मे बी 30 years वॉर, ओके, और एनीथिंग, यूनिफिकेशन, रीयूनिफिकेशन, स्टूडेंट इन विवेक, ये आप ब्रैकेट में लिखते चलो. So like this, you will be parallelly covering Landeskunda, history, literature, and philosophy. Okay. Abhi MCQ hai. You are the luckiest ones. We used to write 1-2 page answer in JNU entrance exam. Okay. तो अभी आपको सिर्फ मेजर बस नाम याद कर लो, पढ़ लो, काफी है. You do not have to go in detail. Okay. Yeah, that's all from my side from a literature part. Now somebody wanted to talk about morphologische category or morphologische Mittel. See, German is a language, or German grammar is a grammar where you have to take care of casus, genus, numerus, person, tempus, modus, everything. So these are morphologische category. जर्मन ग्रामर में हम एक्सक्लूड नहीं कर सकते जेंडर क्या है, सिंगुलर है, प्लूरल है, नॉमिनेटिव है, एक्यूजेटिव है, गेनेटिव है, दाटिव है, ये हम एक्सक्लूड नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है, सो दीज आर मॉर्फोलॉगिशा कैटेगोरियन, दीज आर मॉर्फोलॉगिशा मिटल. सो जर्मन लैंग्वेज, जर्मन ग्रामर इज एक्चुअली फुल ऑफ मॉर्फोलॉगिशा मिटल. Okay, unlike other languages, I really don't know about any other language. If you know, you might be knowing whether these are considered in any other language. Like in Japanese, there is no singular plural, no, sorry, no gender in Japanese. In Bengali, there is no, Kratika could tell me, there is no gender. Yeah, so these are morphologische Mittel. Okay, any other problem, any other doubt from your side? Now my talk is over.
Ma'am, tell me about romantische Ironie. audible? I can't hear you.
Yeah, yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Yes, ma'am. I want to discuss about romantische Ironie and also
Mhm.
word building.
Okay, romantische Ironie ist ein ästhetischer Theorie zur Erstellung von Kunstwerken. Okay, this is very famous line. ये आप line हर जगह देखोगे. Romantische Ironie एक aesthetic theory है. Erstellung, emergence of works. That's it. Okay. Now there were problems with this theory. I don't know the theory in detail, but what was problems like Schlegel had his problems that there should be no what we say a common theory like there can be Irony in der Kunst, speziell in Literatur. For example, die deutsche Romantik entwickelte vor allem mit Friedrich Schlegel einen eigenen und recht eigenwilligen theoretischen Begriff von Ironie in der Kunst, speziell in Literatur. Schwierig ist seine exakte Bestimmung. See, they have also written it's difficult to explain this romantische Ironie. Why it is romantisch? Why it is Ironie? Okay, und eine praktische Ableitung, vor allem durch die eher schwammigen und oft widersprüchlich scheinenden theoretischen Definition durch die romantischen Theoretiker. Okay, so with Schlegel, this romantic era began. Then came this Begriff irony in Kunst art, but still, and especially in literature. Okay, irony. There is a irony. Um, any example in literature that there is irony? Yeah, everyday language we use. Yeah, Ludwig Tieck's work, E.T.A. Hoffmann's work. Then there is Der Gestifelter Kater. Okay, this is a Martian. So these are all related with this theoretical concept. There is no, when I say the theory is basically कि कोई वर्क लिखा गया है उसकी स्पाइन क्या है स्पाइन लाइक रीढ़ की हड्डी या बेस जस्ट अ सेकेंड Okay, so who asked? Rashmi asked.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so Rashmi, we cannot define this. Let's say
Uh,
irony. Okay, this is the definition of irony. It's even difficult to understand until and unless you have insights in romantic. Got it?
okay, ma'am.
Yeah, it is. What's your question?
Ma'am,
Besides just asking irony, have you heard it somewhere, read it
न-
somewhere?
नहीं मैम मैंने पढ़ा मतलब रोमांटिक इरोनी समथिंग शायद क्वेश्चन भी आया हुआ था ऐसा कुछ तो उसमें शायद ब्लाउन ब्लूमर शायद नोवालिस का एक वो है उसमें
हाँ
सिंबल टाइप यूज किया गया है तो
हाँ ये सिंबल है और ब्लाउआ ब्लूमा उस टाइम का नेशनल नेशनल नहीं लेट्स से अनऑफिशियल सिंबल भी था ब्लूम यू कैन सी दिस ऑन गूगल हाउ दिस ब्लू flower
तो
looks like. Okay, so basically this is theory which in during this romantic period ठीक है and here Bezeichnung can be symbolized, yeah. So how symbolize how something is symbolized, how theoreticals or theorists they deal with the work. This is romantische Ironie, yeah. Much even I haven't dealt with any of the work in romantic. So yes, you've as of now only just remember that it was created, not created, it was in romantische era and it was started by Schlegel. That's it.
ओके
Okay?
ओके
Yeah.
मैम वर्ड बिल्डिंग ये आप थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दो मतलब
वोट बिल्डुंग नाम से ही वोट और बिल्डुंग इट्स कॉम्पोजिट कॉम्पोजिशन फॉर एग्जाम्पल वेटर बेरिस्ट तो वोट बिल्डुंग वेटर बेरिस्ट एक ये तरीका है एक है स्टेलन एंड आई एडेड प्रीफिक्स एर स्टेलन ओके now I make a noun out of this stellung. Now I add something here, Stellensnama. Okay, so this is you are creating new word by adding prefix, suffix, by adding new word, by making noun from verb from noun, adjective from noun, Freund, Freundlichkeit, Frieden, Friedlich. Okay, so this is nothing, this is Wortbildung.
मैम जैसे कि डेरिवेशन फ्लेक्सियन एग्जांपल जैसे हाउ हेव फ्लैश लिश तो आई थिंक ये डेरिवेशन का है ये थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज हो जाता है मतलब आपस में मिक्स हो जाता है
ये देखो डेरिवेशन, डेरिवेशन का मतलब आप समझ लो, आप डेरिवेशन छोड़ो, इंग्लिश में देखो अभी डेरिवेशन ऑब्टेनिंग और डेवलपिंग समथिंग फ्रॉम सम अदर सोर्स, ठीक है। अब जैसे आपने एग्जांपल दिया हेयरफ्लिश, गिव द एग्जांपल अगेन।
हाउ फ्लैश या ऐसे कुछ था ये क्वेश्चन जेएनयू के साथ क्वेश्चन पेपर में भी आया है हाउ फ्लैश या हेव फ्लैश आई थिंक हेव फ्लैश लिश
No, what are the words? I want to know the words. Derivation में words. Derivation means obtaining or developing of something from a source or origin. ठीक है, तो some other word is derived from a simple word. For example, Empfinsamkeit, one word. इसमें से we derive empfinden. This is derivation.
ओके
Okay?
ओके
Yeah. And what the other one?
फ्लेक्सियन
Flexion. Okay? Is somebody saying something? Somebody saying something? Okay. Can you give the example of flexion? Flexion, even are you giving this pronunciation correct? Flexion है कुछ और है।
वेट वेट
हाँ, एक बार flexion का pronunciation गलत है शायद।
फ्लैक्सियन आई थिंक वेट
What spelling? Flexicon, flexion.
I have note down somewhere. Yes, ma'am. Flexion है FLEXION.
Okay, and
Flex.
the and what are the examples?
Uh, this comes in morphine under morphine. I think. I guess. Or Wortbildung.
Okay, what is morpheme? Morpheme is a part
Kleines
of
Wort.
linguistics. हाँ, Kleinster Spracheinheit. ये आपको पता है?
Yes.
देन इसमें भी आते हैं मॉर्फ, एलोमॉर्फ, ग्राफीम, फोनीम, जिल्बर, ठीक है,
Yes, ma'am.
या वोट, लेक्सेम। आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट लेक्सेम?
I guess so.
Okay, lexem is abstract Einheit. Abstract Einheit means very abstract. Abstract means not present physically. You cannot feel its presence. And it's basically, for example, I tell you, yeah, laut Schriftbild, grammatische Merkmale und verschiedener Flexionsformen eines Wortes. Dieser Begriff ist also zu unterscheiden von dem des lexikalischen Morphem. Das heißt, eine Morphem, das lexikalische Bedeutung trägt und als Basis für die Markierung grammatischer Information dienen kann. In der Grammatik bezeichnet Flexion Deutsch auch Beugung oder Biegung. Okay, eine Änderung in der Form eines Wortes zum Ausdruck seiner grammatischen Merkmale. See, um, there is a bend, for example, let's say if you have any example, it would be good, like schnell. Okay, schnell, schneller, schnelles, different है ना? Schnell is just adjective, schneller comparative degree, schnelles हो गया when it's an adjective include, it means schnelles auto. Got it? So एक word है schnell, उसमें हमने बस add किया schneller, schnelles, and there is a difference. This is nothing but flexion. Okay, these es er, they are flexion and they are actually categorized according to genus, numerus, not tempus, casus. या nominative है, accusative है, singular है, plural है, क्या है, masculine है, feminine है. Okay.
Okay.
Like comparison, let's have one adjective, schneller. Okay, schneller. Now, if we have to give an adjective ending, it will be schnellerer, schnellerer. Okay, so this is nothing but these are flexions. Einheit, er, es, e. These are the smallest einheits. These are flexion. These are lexeme.
So, ma'am, means lexion and lexicon are the same, basically.
Flexion and no lexicon. See, lexicon is anything related to language. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Hmm.
आप जर्मन एक बुक है Einführung in der deutsche Linguistik है deutsche Sprache. ठीक है, it has linguistical terms and there have you have definitions and examples. Just check whether any among you anyone is having or it's available on internet. Just check it. Okay. तो फ्लेक्सियन कैसे हो गए, अफिक्सन कहते हैं, प्रीफिक्स, सुफिक्स, ये फ्लेक्सियन होते हैं. ई आर, एल आई सी एच का तो कोई मीनिंग नहीं है ना खुद का, बट एल आई सी एच लिश को हमने ऐड किया फ्रॉइंड के साथ तो फ्रॉइंड लिश बन गया. ओके, सो ये जो छोटे छोटे यूनिट्स हैं इनको और फर्दर डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते, ये फ्लेक्सियन होती हैं. गॉट इट? हु आस्क्ड रश्मि, हु आस्क्ड आरुष? या आप पता है एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ पढ़ो इन्हें, एग्जाम्पल्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट.
Thank you.
Um, and then allomorph is when two words like two morpheme are combined together.
एलोमॉर्फ,
Allomorph.
हाँ स्पीक.
Allomorph is something then when two words are combined together or two or
फोनेटिक फॉर्म या वर्ड्स. यस, या. कैन यू गिव द एग्जाम्पल?
I don't have example. I'm confused in this.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Uh, an allomorph is a variant of morpheme. Okay, I'm also using
Hmm.
this technical term, so you might have difficulty in understanding me also. Let's say a morph is a phonological string. अब आओ आप allomorph. A allomorph is a morph that has a unique set of grammatical or lexical features. Okay. Now example of an allomorph is a short sound of a. English है ये a. A in mat, and a
Hmm.
in mad. Mad. Difference है a
Hmm.
sound. This is nothing. This is allomorph. This short sound is, sorry, this is allophone. Sorry, this is allophone. A morph, allomorph, I'll tell you more. Yeah, same thing. Okay, allomorphs like fish, to make
Hmm.
fish or a fish, and fished. So this ed is allomorph. ओके. एलोफोन होते हैं, एलोमॉर्फ होता है, फोनीम होता है, मॉर्फीम होता है, इनमें भी बहुत होते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये एक चार्ट अगर आप बना सकते हो तो इट्स गुड, अदरवाइज जस्ट चेक फॉर अ बुक. एलोमॉर्फ फिश्ड, सो ईडी इज नथिंग बट अ मॉर्फीम and fish is nothing but a morpheme. So fish and ed added, so more than two morphemes, which is allomorph.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
anything else? Yeah, I think I cannot give more time. It's 1 o'clock. Mahima, Rishabh, sorry, Rashmi, Priyatosh, Nikhil, Smriti, Himani, Rajiv. We
Um,
cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, Himani.
okay, ma'am, just one little question. Ma'am, Gebundinum form morpheme can be isolated or can be divided into its subparts. But there is a question, wie heißen morpheme die niemals in Isolierung auftreten können. So answer is gebundener. How it can be gebundener and not isolierter or getrennter?
You can you give example if you know besides this theoretical definitions?
Hmm. I'm
हाँ
sorry, I
लेकिन
don't know
आप
something.
बताओ।
Uh,
तो मॉर्फीम दो टाइप की है, फ्राइस गिबुंडेनेस, ठीक है। अब
hmm.
फ्राइस दो टाइप की है, लेक्सिकालिसिस फंक्शियोस फ्योटर, ठीक है। फिर गिबुंडेना हो गया एफिक्स, एफिक्स हो गए प्रीफिक्स सफिक्स, और दो तीन और होते हैं, ठीक है। अब आप बताओ, आपका क्वेश्चन है कि गिबुंड व्हाई गिबुंडेना मॉर्फीम कैन नॉट बी इजोल, व्हाट्स द क्वेश्चन?
Wie heißen Morpheme, die niemals in Isolierung auftreten können. Das heißt, die nie für sich allein ein Wort bilden. But the answer is gebundene, and I think answer should be isolator. Maybe. I'm confused.
इजोलेटेड मॉर्फीम क्या होता है बताओ आप।
That cannot be further divided. Maybe.
और गिबुंडेना मॉर्फीम क्या होता है बताओ आप।
Um which can be separated into its like subparts or which can be broken.
ओके सो फ्राई gebunden, ठीक है। फ्राई
Hmm.
wortfähig, gebunden nicht wortfähig। फॉर एग्जाम्पल
Hmm.
हाउस, दुम, ये क्या है? फ्राई, हाउस, हाउस
Hmm.
को बाद में और डिवाइड कर सकते हैं? नहीं, ठीक
नहीं.
है। गेबुंडना हो गया रेशन, वाइगर या कुछ भी प्रीफिक्स सफिक्स जो होगा, नॉट प्रीफिक्स सफिक्स इज नॉट करेक्ट, लाइक रेशनन, तो इसमें रेशन, रेशनन, ओके, RECHN। लेट्स टेक दिस एग्जांपल, ओके, दिस इज गेबुंडन। गेबुंडन का मतलब है वो अकेले कभी नहीं हो सकता, अकेले उसका मीनिंग ही नहीं होगा कुछ, उसको किसी ना किसी के साथ गेबुंडन जुड़ना है। फ्राई, फ्राई मीन्स हाउस, अकेला, वो मीनिंग है उसका, उसकी एग्जिस्टेंस है।
Okay. Okay.
तो आई
Hmm.
हैड कंफ्यूजन, आप वाइसे वर्सा बोल रहे हो दोनों चीज।
Hmm. Now it's clear. Hmm.
नाउ इट्स क्लियर, ओके गुड।
Yeah. Thank you.
या Kritika, let's call it a day now because things are not so suitable at my place. Okay. Kritika, are you there? Kritika? Okay, I don't think so. She's there. Let's call it a day, everyone. Yeah. Auf Wiederhören, Wiedersehen. Do it well in class. Okay. So you like the class? Any problem with the class?
No, ma'am, it was very good. So it was very nice.
Okay.
No,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.